Hello everyone and welcome back to a Rise of Kingdom video. This is your boy Legend Ronnie, and today we are gonna go a little bit technical, we are gonna go a little bit mathematical, and I'm gonna help you out to find out how impactful this iconic equipment boost is going to be on your march, on your rally, on your garrison, or whichever is going to do or you're going to do into the game, so you have an idea like how good is this going to be, how impactful is going to be on your march, on your field, to have a roughly idea about it. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about the equipment boost, I've done a video a couple of hours ago or yesterday, depending on which time zone you are, where I talked about these possible leaks, about this picture where it shows this iconic boost. As you see, there is an extra menu over there on the top. More details on the video. I'll make sure to post a card on the top if you want to see the full detail for that video. But I've done one mistake in that video, and that was this iconic boost is for the base of your troops stats, right? This is the reason I also started with this picture, so I can show you the base of the troop stats. So it's the one on the left. Now, what I thought is that is just simple attack, defense, and health boost, but no, that is something that will boost the base stats. So this is the first type of attack, defense, and health of this type that will boost the base stats of the troops. So this is what I want to show you in this video, also calculating like how impactful is this going to be on a march, on a rally, and so on. As you all know, different troops have different base stats. This is the Royal Guard. So for example, if I go to the Elite Teutonic Knight, you see there is total different value of attack, defense, and health, and this is the base stats. Iconic equipment boost that I just showed you earlier, this is what is going to boost. The part on the left side, the white one. Now that we know more and we know in detail about that, we can go ahead and do some calculation, some roughly mathematical calculation, to have ideas like how much is this going to mean for us, for our march, our rally, garrison, and so on. Now, if you want to see all the stats of the troops, there is also a channel on my Discord with all that, or you can simply go from your portrait, you go to the civilization change, and for example, let's say you want to try France, and when you press switch, it also shows you on the special unit. So for example, the elite throwing axeman, and if you go by each civilization before you switch, you can also see the difference of the troop stats, and that's how you can see all the troop stats. Now it's very easy like this. So for example, you see the elite throwing axeman that they have 227 health, but I've done a while back, it's called the infantry calculator, and on that infantry calculator I put all the stats. Now I'm covering some of it, but it's not important to see all of them. You already see that I've done some calculations, I've done some mathematical calculations already. By the way, this spreadsheet is also available on my Discord. You find the link in the description of this video, and you go to the announcement. It was the announcement from May 2021. So all you have to do is just scroll up on a couple of announcements, and there is also a video about this stats calculator. But it was just to have an idea about the base stats, like which troops have the highest stats. It's also highlighted with red, like who has the highest attack, with green who has the highest defense, and who has the highest health on this picture over here. What I'm trying to show you is per march, which is already written there for people that don't want to wait and listen the entire explanation in this video. You can have this picture over here, and you can pretty much tell by the calculations like what I've done. So let's get into a little bit more technical. Let's introduce the calculator over here as well. Reset it to 0. Maybe we'll do some calculations a little bit later on. As you all saw when I was showing the stats, this is the base troop stats of the Royal Guard. 220 attack, 216 defense, and 212 health. Now, I had to took roughly some boosts. So let's say from equipment, crystal tech, maybe any other boost that you can get on your troops in terms of attack, defense, and health, not the base stats boost of the troops, like the stats that you get from your equipment, runes, buffs, titles, etc., etc., skills, talents, and so on. I said that roughly you get 300% attack, 250 defense, and 130% health. Now, this is done automatically because this is how this spreadsheet works. By the way, this is why I said it's available. So you can input any numbers you want. So for example, if you want 400% attack, you can put 400% attack, but then you have to do the other calculations because I didn't really put formulas for the other one. So the other one are just inputted manually, but at least for these troops, it's done like that. But then you have a calculator if you really want to find out like a full march, how much it has, like I've done, you just multiply. So I've done with 300 attack, 250 defense, and 130% health. Let's say that roughly this is the amount of stats that you get. So this is the regular 330k march and a 2 million rally. So these are the total stats with a 300% attack, the defense, and the health that you get on a march, on 330k march. That's VIP 18 plus 50% expansion. Now, if you have the max crystal tech and so on, that's obviously it's more troops, it's different calculations and so on. And then for a 2 million rally. Now remember that this is done with the Royal Guard. This is done with the classic infantry. This could be valid as well for the cavalry, for the archers. You just have to input different numbers depending on the stats. But then we have the iconic equipment boost. And to make you understand, the iconic equipment boost, it boosts the base stats of the troops, right? This is the part that iconic equipment boosts those crystals, the iconic crystals that you can put on your equipment. So this value is made with a full legendary set with legendary accessories, all special talented. So this is basically the maximum boost that you can get with the iconic equipment. So how did I reach to these numbers? I took the base attack, so let's say 220, and I've done plus 8%, which is going to be the iconic boost that you get once you get your weapon and your gloves. Like I said, you have to check that video in more details so you can understand better what this is meaning. You get the value of 237.6. So I've done the same with defense because you get 8% on defense and 16% on health. So the health, it was 212 plus 16%, and it's 245.9. So I've done a little bit of mistake over here, which I already corrected it. I already inputted the right numbers. Now I have to update the calculation. So the first part has been done correctly, but this was a little bit of a mistake, the 16%. I've done it with 216 health, and let me show you why it was different numbers. It was 216. This is how I calculated, plus 16%. And there you have the numbers that it was previously, the 250 plus 56. But now I corrected it with 212% health. And there you have it, the numbers. And now we can also calculate, since I said we have the calculator over here, we can do 565.57. And we can do times 330,000 march. And let's see what is the difference. It's 186 million. So now I can correct over here on the updated march 186 million. And we can also check the differences of the value because we have the 330k march and then we have the updated 330k march once the iconic equipment boost will be introduced into the game. So I've done these values and I multiply by a march. That's pretty simple. This is something that if you're interested to do, if you want to input different values like the stats boost, then you'll have different results and you'll have higher numbers as well. So as a attack wise, from the updated 330k march to the regular 330k march, it's almost 23.5 million in attack value. Now that's a big number. That is a big boost. If you really want to ask me, that's almost 10%. When you have around 300% attack. Now, if we take a Pakalian Harald, for example, a Pakalian Harald, they have around probably 400% attack when you have all the boosts popping, when Harald is stacking all those things. So that would be an even higher attack value. And if we take some units like the Elite Samurai from the Japan, which has 232, and you multiply that by another 8%, then you can realize that you'll get some pretty high numbers. For example, if you want to go a little bit more offensive. So the numbers will be pretty high after the iconic equipment will be introduced. Now let's go on to the defense. On a March value, it's almost 250 million on the regular Royal Guards with 250% defense. And after the update, it's going to be around 265. So like a 15 million difference, not a whole lot of a value, not big difference over there. On the attack is a slight difference. But this is where the big impact is going to be, is the health. So on the health value, you have roughly 161 million on the 330k March. And then after the update is 186. So that's around 25 million difference, even higher than the attack, and probably will have a very significant impact when you have the two accessories and when you have the boots and the pants. I believe those are the pieces that will increase the base health stats. As a reference, I've also done, because you probably saw these numbers, I've also done the health on the Elite Throwing Axeman, and that's why you see the numbers over there, the 202 million. So that is per March. Now the difference from regular Royal Guards to Elite Throwing Axeman is pretty significant. I think that's about 40 million plus. That's a quarter, right? Or around 20% value, or 20% higher, something 20-25% higher. I didn't done the math, like the difference. That's pretty huge when you think about it. Like how impactful is going to be that 16% base health on Elite Throwing Axeman, for example. So in theory, the infantry should have the best results with Elite Throwing Axeman on the battlefield, because you'll have the largest and the biggest help pool. To do per rally, I've done like a 2 million rally. I multiplied like a 2 million rally, and you see that after the update, the Elite Throwing Axeman with iconic equipment, just with the health part, it will have 1.2 billion and 27 million, while a regular rally before the update or without the iconic equipment, it has less than 1 billion. So that's again almost a quarter increase when it comes to the health. So this comes to the point, this iconic equipment boost, these iconic crystals that will be introduced, this can also tells us that in the future with this thing, players will have to choose specializations, exactly like I've been talking in my videos at the beginning of the game, like choosing a specialization, choose cavalry, infantry, or archers, and just focus on that. Then the game shifted a little bit different because the commanders were too good, like archers or calves or so on. They were just too ideal marchers to use from each type of troops, even leadership. Like we have Trajan, and a lot of people enjoy Honda as well. So there's various commanders from different specializations that were just too good not to use. But in the future, going stats wise and going value wise, like you want to get the best traits possible, people will have to choose specializations again, will have to go on specializations again, because you have the special units. And now with this iconic equipment boost that will boost the base stats, it will make a lot of sense to try to boost your special unit as much as possible. That's where it comes, the specialization. So for example, if you're going to be infantry, most likely you will be choosing between Elite Berserkers and Elite Throwing Axeman, which it will also be the civilization boost and the troops boost that are kind of the most ideal. Then when it comes to cabs, you'll most likely choose between the Teutonic Knights or the Arabian Knights, or maybe even Byzantium. You get another 5% health on the Byzantium. The Byzantium has big health pool. And then when it comes to archers, is pretty much Ottoman, I guess. I don't think there's any other archers that is really worth taking into consideration. So we just leave those to that. So you can get the highest stats available and boost those stats and get the best results possible. And it's also the value on the defense and the value on attack if you want to compare. On the defense, compared to a regular rally before or with and without the iconic equipment, it's only like 80 million. So when it comes to billions, 80 million, that's probably a nothing. And then when it comes to the attack, it's like 100 and something million, which also I don't think that's going to be a huge difference. But I think the health is going to be the big game changer on this next update, on this iconic equipment boost. Now, how is this also going to help if you are, let's say, a rally leader, a garrison leader, you are leading your kingdom? I'm pretty sure that there's going to be kingdoms out there, and believe me when I tell you this, it will be possible that we will see more and more in the future when players will switch civilization based on the requirements of the kingdom. So for example, if your kingdom goes in defense, the players that will defend will most likely switch civilization on the required troops, and you will put just elite throwing axemen or Vikings in a garrisoning situation, and the garrison captain as well, and everyone else who is reinforcing, there will be the same civilization to increase and boost the same stats. Or in a rally situation, either is it cabs or archers, we will most likely see this more and more, and this will be probably a future thing into the game. Now, if this is really how things are going to be, I think the game will become even more interesting in the future. I believe that with this iconic equipment boost and with these iconic crystals that you can put on your legendary equipment, there's going to be only good things happening in the future. One, people will choose specializations. Two, you will need legendary equipment on all your commanders, which honestly, I'm not really agreeing with that. Because, for example, like even commanders where I have full special talent, you see that I still enjoy some of the epics. So I still have epic equipment. And let's just go for something more infantry. I enjoy these epic pants more than the legendary ones. It's not that I don't have materials to forge the legendary ones, but I want to have a balance on the stats. So I prefer these two items with health instead of just taking these pants with defense, because the legendary one gives defense, and then going with the weapon that gives attack. And it is the same thing, for example, when I go to the archers. Where is Edward? For the archers, I usually go for the full epic first, and then if I change the legendary, I change the chest piece and I change the gloves so I can have 2 legendary pieces. And then obviously I aim for the 4 legendary pieces so you can get a 3% skill. And only for rallying, I would put the legendary pants and the legendary helmet. If not, for field, I would keep these 2 pieces. This is 20% defense and 3% attack. The legendary one, they give attack. Not very happy of stacking too much attack on archers, especially for field fighting. Now, because of this iconic equipment, if you really want to have the best of everything, you want to have the best marchers ever, you will have to upgrade all this legendary equipment and upgrade them with those iconic crystals that we'll be able to get. You see, for a rally situation, I have this set with 2 special items, and in the future will be the full set will be special talented and so on. But for now, this will just do. So in the future, this will have full iconic on it, so it can bring me the best hats, which means that all these epic equipment, epic accessories will most likely fly away in the future, and everything will be legendary. So you can put those extra boosts. And this is something that I would recommend, even if you're a free-to-play or low spender, you might want to orient yourself on just having 2-3 badass marchers instead of keep upgrading and using epic gear and so on, because those will give you the best results. Those marchers having full legendary with iconic, that's going to be the most amazing boost that you can get. Because as I already showed you over here on this spreadsheet that I have done over here, the 333k march, the base stats, and then the updated stats, right? So having those iconic equipment boost will make a huge difference in the future. Right, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you understand a little bit of theory crafting behind this video, and behind what I was trying to explain you and show you in this video, so you can have an idea and some understanding, maybe even some planning in the future, so you don't just spread around your iconic crystals in random direction and maybe just try to have a straight focus on specific specializations. I am even thinking about it right now. I'm thinking deeply about calves because I really enjoy calves and that was my main specialization. I also have like 3 sets of calf equipment. It will not be hard, especially if I dismantle some of the other equipment, to forge more calf gear and have 5 sets. But obviously those iconic crystals will not be available straight away in such a huge number, so there's no rush. But you know, just something for your mind, something to think about in the future, about the direction you want to take with your account, for example, which I already planned ahead. I'm just waiting for this update to come live, and then we'll definitely see more and do more updated videos about this. Until next time, this is your boy Legend Ronnie signing off. Peace out, yo, and take care. See you on the next one, and stay safe out there, my friends.